Why Can't Humans Fly? Written by Sarah Fleming. Illustrated by Wes Lowe.
Why can't humans fly? Birds are the right size and shape to fly. This bird is too big to fly. Humans are not the shape or size to fly. We don't have wings. To have big enough and strong enough wings, we'd need big and strong enough muscles to flap them. To have big enough muscles, we'd need to have huge chests that stuck out more than a meter. Even if we were shaped to have wings, we couldn't fly unless we changed in other ways. For a start, we're too big and heavy. Like birds, we'd need to make our bones hollow to be light enough to fly. Just adding wings wouldn't allow us to fly. We'd need to change our bodies too. Our shape and size controls what we can and can't do. Size and shape. Animals come in lots of different shapes and sizes. Some animals use their size or shape to help them to survive. Camels can store food for long journeys in the desert. A squid can't walk, but its streamlined and flexible shape helps it to swim very well. Giraffes live in the African savanna. They compete for food with other leaf-eaters, like antelope. The advantage of having a long neck is that a giraffe can reach food that others can't. Tiny pond skaters can walk on water to catch fallen insects. Female peacocks want to mate with the biggest and best male they can find. This is so that their babies will be bigger and less likely to be attacked. So male peacocks have big tails to attract a mate. The male peacock's tail lifts and opens up to attract a mate. An amoeba has only one cell. It doesn't have guts, eyes, or anything much. It's so small that it doesn't have to breathe or eat. Enough food and oxygen seep through the cell wall for an amoeba to live. This wouldn't work if it got any bigger. Amoebas have to be small to live the way they do. Food and oxygen seep through the cell wall. By being different sizes and shapes, animals can live together in a habitat. They might eat different foods, sleep in different places, and live in different parts of the habitat. But they are all the right shape and size to live in their special place in their habitat. Why can't insects be dog-sized? Insects have special places in lots of habitats. Their shapes are different, but they can't get bigger. This is because insects don't breathe in and out. Air seeps in through holes called spiracles. It flows round branching tubes, and muscles take in the oxygen in the air. The air seeps back out again. Oxygen can't flow very far down a trachea. Bigger insects couldn't get enough oxygen and would die. This way of breathing limits the size of insects. Even this huge insect has to have a thin body so that oxygen can seep all the way inside. Insects are small, which for them is an advantage, because they survive on things larger animals aren't interested in. There are other advantages to being small. Why are ants so strong? An advantage of being small is that you can be strong. It's easier to lift your body weight if you're very light. As animals get bigger, their weight increases much more than their strength. A muscle that is twice the size of another muscle is not twice as strong. Like most insects, ants are mainly made of muscle. Human bodies are full of bones and organs like brains and lungs. In fact, humans are only about 40% muscle. Leafcutter ants can lift 50 times their own body weight. The strongest humans can't lift even 4 times their own weight. Why can fleas jump so far? Another advantage of being small and light is that you can be shaped to jump a long way. Fleas are the best jumpers on the planet. They can jump 200 times their body length. There are 2 reasons for this. Fleas are almost completely made up of muscle. For every gram of weight, there is a lot of muscle to help them to jump. Fleas have a spring coiled above their back legs, which helps them to jump. Spines on the flea's back leg grip the ground for takeoff. Humans are heavier than fleas, and less of our weight is muscle, so we can't jump very far at all. Why can't elephants jump? Compare a flea with an elephant. A little light flea can jump easily. An elephant might just be able to leap over a ditch, but it can't jump upwards. Most animals jump upwards by bending their legs first so that they can spring up. An elephant can't do this. Its legs are short, strong, and very thick. They're the size and shape they are to carry its huge weight, about the same weight as 80 people. Because of their shape, they can't bend enough to make a spring strong enough to jump. Elephants don't need to jump. They can push down trees, travel long distances, and swim. And because they're so big, they don't have many predators. So for them, being large is an advantage. Why can bears live through a polar winter and flies can't? When it's cold, being big is also an advantage. Big animals like polar bears can stay warm. They have lots of thick fur to trap heat and are also big enough to carry a thick layer of fat, up to 10 centimeters thick, under their skin. Flies are too small to carry fat to keep warm, and they have no fur. They get very cold. Many animals move to warmer places, but flies die in the winter cold. Their eggs survive and hatch in the spring. Why do whales live longer than shrews? Another advantage of being big is that you live longer. Animal: blue whale. Length or height of animal: 30 meters long. Can expect to live 80 years. African elephant, 3.7 meters tall. Can expect to live 70 years. Monitor lizard, 2.1 meters long. Can expect to live 15 years. Shrew, 5 to 8 centimeters long. Can expect to live 1 to 2 years. Mayfly, 0.5 to 0.8 centimeters long. Can expect to live 30 minutes to 1 day. Big animals tend to live at a slower pace than small ones. An elephant plods slowly, whereas a shrew scurries quickly. An elephant's heart beats 30 times a minute, while a shrew's heart beats 800 times per minute. You age with every heartbeat, so a shrew gets old much more quickly than an elephant. Some animals don't follow this rule. Usually, they are small animals that move very slowly and have a slow heartbeat. A shrew burns energy so quickly that it has to eat its own body weight every day. Galapagos turtles move slowly and have a slow heartbeat. They can live up to 180 years. What about us? We humans live much longer than we should when you think of our size. A healthy human today can expect to live up to 90 years, longer than a whale. 500,000 years ago, our ancestors lived for about 20 years. They had lots of predators, illnesses, famines and battles, which cut life short. So what's changed? Our bodies, especially our brains, adapted over time. We stood up, got bigger, and became cleverer. Adapting to survive better is called evolution. We learned how to make fire, use tools, and talk, and we started living longer. As well as adapting our bodies, we are the only animal that has adapted our habitat. We have invented medicines to keep us healthy, clothes and houses to keep us safe, warm, and dry. All these things have helped us to live longer. We even invented a way to fly. Evolution. Humans aren't the only ones who have adapted over time. The scientist Charles Darwin first said that animals changed and adapted to their habitats. When he looked at types of small birds on an isolated island, he found that each had a different shaped beak. They had adapted the size and shape of their beak so that they didn't compete with each other for food. Each type of beak was adapted for picking up different types of seed. Horses were the size of dogs 55 million years ago. They were small enough to duck and hide in their forest habitat. Over time, the climate changed and the forests became grassland. Horses adapted by becoming bigger so that they could travel faster and over longer distances. Biologists think the hammerhead shark adapted its head so that its eyes could be far apart. This helps it to work out how far away its prey is. The stick insect's shape is a kind of camouflage. It confuses predators. Some animals have not needed to adapt for a long time. Crocodiles have not changed since Tyrannosaurus rex lived 65 million years ago. By then, crocodiles had already adapted to their habitat so well that they stopped changing. They had adapted to be strong, fast and sleek, and they had no predators. Most animals continue to adapt to survive better in their habitat or to fit into a changing habitat. This goes for humans too. As the Earth changes around us, we need to evolve and change so that we can be the best size and shape to suit our world.